Guys, welcome to another episode of Bushcraft North of 60. It's been a long time. Work has been ridiculously busy, and between that and a bunch of other stuff, I haven't had much time to get out. So here is Winter Camp 2020-2021. Trying something different this year. So I'm using the snowmobile to get myself up. Then we've got another tree over there I'll get up to about right in the middle of the shot there. And then what I'll have, if things go according to plan here, see if we can get this all framed in. I'll have a ridge line going from here so over here, so I can just ratchet that tent up and get that good to go. Lugged a bit of gear with me. I'm probably, I don't know, 30 something kilometers north of Yellowknife. But yeah, I got the tent, stove, tarp for the tent, stove pipes, and I think that's it. Oh, gravel for the stove too, and a couple of barrels there, and my lantern and some fuel and stuff. So I'm hoping to get this at least up today. At least this will be a good before shot. If it works, if it doesn't, you'll never see this footage. Maybe. But yeah, it'd be nice to get this up while I'm off for Christmas here, and I can come out and enjoy it, take the snow machine out. It's actually a pretty fun little ski too up this way, so we could ski up here. But anywho, I'm going to turn the machine around, and then I will get the other side hooked up, thread that through the loops on the tent, and get this thing up. See how that goes. Well, just finished stringing that up. So I got that tension pretty taut. Stood up on the back of the snow machine, tied that up, and then stretched it out. Now I got to figure out, hopefully my anchors that I bought are going to work. I bought some great big huge spiral nails, but just to get an idea, there's about where one corner is going to come out to, all the way across, and then same thing on the other side. Put the tarp over it and call it good. Alright, well that's about as up as that's going to get tonight. I didn't have a whole lot of daylight. It gets dark around 3 o'clock, but I've got all the eaves guyed out temporarily. And got the ridge all straightened out there. Got the corners pegged at least. And that'll do it for tonight. So, back out tomorrow. I'm going to hide all the stuff inside there and go home and get some supper. Alright, well it is morning of day 2. A little bit of flurries coming down. Got the shotgun with me just for all the things. And here it is in the daytime, so that's as far as I got last night. Now one thing I hadn't considered, see how it's not very taut in the corners here, is that with the weight on here, obviously it's going to be lower in the middle of that line, but the middle of the line is actually the front of my tent. So I'm going to hook another ratchet strap onto that junction, anchor it up there, reef on this nice and tight so I can relieve that, undo those, bring it up higher to where the other one's going to be, take up the slack on the main line here again, and then pop out the temporary one. Keep using that for putting my sled in the back of my truck when I take that. So we'll do a quick little tour. These are just guyed out temporarily. I am actually going to, on my anchors here, tie some loops on there, and then I can use a taut line hitch on this. So what I'll probably do when I leave here, I'll probably just take the tension off those lines, just in case these trees move around quite a bit. It's not going to tear my tent all up. So let's get inside here. Should be fun, and we'll take a look. So maybe I can do this one-handed. Just hold on the fingers. There we go. That'll work a lot better once everything's nice and tight. So here's the inside. It's only 8 by 10, but it's plenty easy to keep it warm. Got all my stove pipes, stove, the rest of my anchors, 2 buckets of gravel to put in the stove, my lantern, a couple things of kerosene, bunch more rope, tarp to go over the top of it, and a few other odds and sods. I think this year, last year I had a net hanging up in here. I think I'm going to run a line and tie these loops to intercept it, almost like if you're trying to get your bus to stop at the bus stop. But then I can hang all kinds of things along here to dry out. A little better than last year. It's definitely going to be cozy. Alright, I better put this back in my pocket before it freezes up. Well, standing on the tail of the snow machine. I can always stand on the railing here. But there's the old line. There's a new one a little further up. You can see they grab on there, but let's just see what that does. It's going up. Now, I might have to go loosen a couple of guys here. But yeah, seems to be doing the trick. Once I get a lot more tension off of that, we'll move that further up, maybe even a little higher than that one, and we'll call it good. Alright, so I've gone and cut a bunch of strips here, some really light cord, and all I'm doing is tying a fisherman's knot in there. This is going to loop twice around my anchor, and then the guy for the tent itself is going to come out from there. But I don't know if I've ever really done any knot how-tos or not, no pun intended. But let's see how this goes. I can't really, well, look, I can see you. You're in the mirror on my snow machine, so I can kind of see. All right, so you've got two ends here. This could be making a loop like this, or you could have two separate ends of rope coming together like this as well. Fisherman's knot. All you're really doing is tying one overhand knot around one piece, and then the other end, you're basically just going to replicate that. So what you should end up with is just two overhand knots around each piece of rope. So if you tighten those up and pull them together, super tight. You can put a lot of tension on that. That's not going to slip or go anywhere. But you can take that apart after tension's been on. I actually just did that with the ridge line here. So I'm going to make a bunch of these up, and then we'll get back at it. Alright, so now here comes the part where it'd be super helpful to have a camera person, which I don't have. So, we've got this. You can also use this to make proof sticks as well if you ever need those. I'm going to gear it up so that the knot is on one side so it's not in the way. And where my anchor is, I drove these in last night. What I want to do is A, not get those thorns in my skin, but B, I'm going to loop that around so it kind of grabs on there and won't come off. See how it comes around, and then all right, now I'm going to pull this guy line up in here, tie a taut line hitch in that, which you can look up, or maybe I'll show you someday again, and that'll be that. Do that on all of them. Well, I think that's as far as I'm going to get today because of this stupid thing. A, it's not much fun putting that together by yourself. But B, I need a pair of snips. I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave my tent here. So I don't want to get too drastic, but I do have extra pieces of pipe. So I had two sections here last year because the tent was actually high enough to have the walls done up properly. But I've got these up as far as I can reach in these trees with what I got to work with, so it is what it is. But man, what a pain in the butt it is trying to get that up there by yourself. So I'm going to get a pair of snips and get my drill so I can use some self-tapping screws. Yeah, because I can build it as I go. That's what I did last year. Every time I get a section together, just boom, put a couple screws in it so that it doesn't move, and keep going on to the next one. And I had this pinned up, but maybe I'll leave it down and just cut this shorter and be done with it. I'm debating whether or not to build a tent frame, but I don't know. I want to make darn sure I like where it's at before I do that sort of stuff. So I'm just going to pack up, call it a day. I got everything else done that I was hoping to get done, other than the tarp is on. It's not beautiful yet, but at least the corners are done up so I can go and guy that out later. I didn't want to get it too fast until I knew exactly where that stovepipe was going to be going. But oh well, this is what what happens. I get some time off at work and I get big plans, and I always get, I don't want to say shot down, but made interesting, we'll put it that way. So that's the tent so far. I'll probably edit this up and put it on there just because I don't know when the next time I'll get out here is. What's tomorrow? New Year's Eve, so it won't be tomorrow. Might be after that. I get some good intel on a few moose that's probably another 20 kilometers from here that have been hanging out. But I really wanted to get this done before I didn't have any time again. So we'll see. I don't know. Might just say to heck with it and buy a cabin. See you in a bit.